Welcome on guys back, my name is Senki from Slots, and today we have finally arrived to BT10 content. Yes, it's been 10 sets till now and few side sets we having, and I'm dropping another tier list. What I expect, I didn't test so much, but I watched a lot of gameplays, a lot of Japan meta, and I've waited till the band list drops, so we're having now Digimon at 1. We have Tommy and Digimon at 1. And did make something about our tier list that you know before you go into it. Why is it like there and there and there? I explain to you. But first, right, left, hit the thumbs up button for more awesome content and subscribe for free because we want to hit the 1,500 subscriber journey till the end of the year, my second year on YouTube. Thank you guys for the huge support till now we are getting. I'm pretty amazed what a Digimon can do, and I will drop as well One Piece content soon, so I hope you are hyped for it as well. And let's go into the tier list. Okay, we are back at the tier list right now, and we have a lot of decks to talk about. This will be a longer video to explain why the stuff and things. We first start off with the old decks, then we go to the new decks. Or maybe we mix up something. Let's see. I start with the Alphamon here. I put the gold Alphamon because you can pull this at the set. To be honest, I bought myself White Omnimon. If you maybe saw it on Instagram or at TikTok, links are down below if you want to follow and support me there. They're getting a gold card. I think that's pretty cool. To having another like chase card in the set, but the Digimon hit hurts the deck a lot. The deck can do something. It can swing multiple times with more Origins. You can build another OTK deck or game memory thing with the Alphamon of Secret Rare I saw, but Magnificently do nothing more right now on the meta at Japan. It was the second best deck to top there, but they got hit like the third best deck, Jet Zilfimon, and it is a 1.5 contender. It can do something. Before it was, I call this Transformers, so that you know, it was the both decks with the Venusmon as a triangle meta, but right now not. We having Beelzemon. Beelzemon got the new Wizardmon promo that you can mill and gain 1 memory. What is a little bit of support? And we having a new Beelzemon coming. It's a level 6. It is uncommon. Digivolve 3 from level 5 with X-Squad in play. On play, when Digivolving, you might trash the 3 cards off the deck. Then for every 10 cards in your trash, you do one of your opponent's level 4 lower. And of attack once per turn for every 10 cards in trash, gain more memory. You play, like you heard, with X-Cross, so you're getting additional X-Cross. With the Beelzemon, it is a Shoutmon X4B. That you now need to make more bricks into your deck is hard for the deck. And I think this deck getting announced at starter deck. And starter decks always help decks to come out. You should invest in Beelzemon because I think later on, the sets 11, 12, when we go to the starter deck, then I think this deck will be tier 1 contender. But right now, it is a funny deck. If you have your pieces, then you are straightforward. But if you play with something like with Galamon, you have a huge counter. Okay, Galamon don't play so much, but OTK decks, it have a problem. So I promote this at tier 2 right now. We go now to one of the decks that are new at the meta, and that is Bloom Blossomon. Green are not getting hit in the banned list, and the next set it's getting a lot of support, and it is pretty good. When Digivolving, you might suspend one of your Digimon, then gain 1 memory for each suspended Digimon with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy in one of the threats you have in play. If you gain 2 or more memory by this effect, unsuspended Digimon and gains piercing for the turn. You turn for every 2 suspended Digimon you have in play, this Digimon gets 2000 DP and gains +1 security tag. The effect to read is pretty good, but it had a lot of conditions. And the conditions are solved on next meta when you're getting more support for the deck. I guess Bloom Blossomon is pretty good. You having a lot of green cards is coming out. With the Sunflowmon, when Digivolving by suspending one of your green Digimon, you might play one Digimon card with Vegatron, Plant, or Fairy, and one of the Fairy for 2000 DPS from your hand without playing its play, cause on-play effects will be triggered then, and you can search more your deck. And Mimi is such a broken card. I think this deck can do something, but I think Randus is better. So I will promote Bloom Blossomon as a tier 2. Maybe I'm guessing that wrong, but I didn't saw so much tops at Japan as well. And now we are going to get one like you having nightmares if you hear about Blue Flare, and having blue hybrid and blue before their name is kinda icky, because we're having Ice Ward 1. But it is a Metallic Greymon card, just to let you know, a core Metallic Greymon. But Digicross is a new mechanic we are getting. But Digicross -2 with Greymon and Male Bertamon. When you would play this card, you might play specific cards from your hand battle area under it. Each placed card reduce the play cost, material save 2. When this Digimon would be deleted, you might place 2 cards with Digicross requirements from this Digimon Digivolution cards under one of your tamers. This is the effect. Did you know what is the ability of material save is? On play, this Digimon gains Rush for the turn. Then if Digicross 3 of your opponent's Digimon with Digivolution cards less or equal to the Digimon Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, for sure, this is a stun deck. You can stun your opponent with card effects, like Blue Hybrid did. And Silver Joy is an annoying card. This is a very good deck that you're getting in the next format. With the Tamer they have, I need to search it up what he can do that I can read it for you. They have a pretty blazing memory boost. May reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. You might add 2 cards with Blue Flare and the threats among them to your hand, and you might play 1 Kishia Anoma, the Tamer, among them without paying its memory cost. So you place a Tamer and get 2 searches, what is pretty amazing. Place the rest of the bottom of your deck, other than place this card in the battle area may delay gain 2 memory for 5. So searching a Tamer if you hit for 6 cards and 2 cards for a cost of 5 and getting 2 memory back. This and blue is such an amazing color with cards they have right now, and it is a stun rush deck. I will give this right now. Maybe I switched that to tier 1, but the lower tier 1 to 1.5, because it didn't do so much as they should do. The Tamer Anoma says start of your turn if you have 2. It's a memory Tamer set 2/3. Your turn when you would play 1 Digimon with Digicross requirements. By suspending this Tamer, you might place cards from under your Tamer's evolution cards for a Digicross. Yeah. If you watch Digicross, then you know what Digicross is. Digimon are fusion together and going up higher. On my Twitch comments, Kumpel Cremig says, what is about Gammamon deck? Kanon Weismon is a pretty good card, but I guess the deck needs more cards to combine specifically. The effects that you get all the effects over one card is pretty good, but if you then hit into the security card and your Digimon is dead, then you build all your plays and your Digimon is then down. And this is one problem. But I guess they will fix it if you bring something off with Gammamon. Each protagonist get a deck, so Gammamon will be there too. Gammamon investments you can do. I have all the Gammamon stuff here because I think protagonists getting all the deck, and we will see. But what we seeing is Dark Knightmon, a deck that is one of my friends pretty hyped about, and then playing Digimon more consistently. This is Dark Knightmon X Antibody. This deck is right now the new Deep Brigade before Deep Brigade getting a support in the next set. But it is a rush deck. You can play and combine Digimon together to play other Digimon for a higher cost, what is pretty cool. The X Antibody effect is Digimon 4 from Dark Knightmon when you return 1 black or purple Digimon card other than Darkmon X Antibody from your trash to your hand. Then if Darkmon or X Antibodies in the Digimon Evolution cards, delete one of your Tamer. Delete 1 Tamer and 1 unsuspended Digimon. Deleting Tamer, what is pretty good because in the X-Cross format you need Tamers. So this is the counter like Lucemon. Massimon is always good because Lucemon but because you have a tamer meta like Dev X-Mon, you have a tamer meta, more tamers, with the cheap play cost, you can get more advantage about that. And other than Digimon is pretty good. On addition, you might play one Dark Nightmare from your trash without playing its memory cost. You have a new Dark Nightmare coming off of 5, but it has a Digicross -2 effect with Deadly X-Mon. Then both you play 4 level 4, combine over it, and play the level 5 for a cheaper cost. Because the text is so big, and I explain it to you so short, that you know what they can do. You play hard playing cards, what is in Dark Nightmon, the key about the deck, getting now advantage because you have a new tamer, new stuff, and you're getting more plus when you play this deck. It is a rush heavy deck, you have answers, you can rewrite something back, you can add back cards, and black has such annoying cards like Kongo, Ultimate Flare, what is pretty annoying, and this deck for me, as a rush deck, is tier 1. Because you have tamer on deletion effects, you having a lot of cycle, and are pretty OP if you play School Nightmon Mighty X mode, what is a 4 cost level 4, and getting advantage of playing a 4 cost card if you have a new tamer, new option cards, what you're getting, a new card like X Antibody. Each card right now in the BT9 getting an X Antibody is meta, and that's the same as I can call for Dark Nightmon. This video will be longer because I have more interesting in BT10. If you have something to call in the chat, you can call with me and we can talk. Gaiomon right now putting its work with Black Wargreymon in the Japan meta. Because they got a lot of things nerfed, and this deck is a counter to the Transformers deck and other decks like 2CC or other decks like Loop or other decks like School Nightmon X or Blossomon. They are right now in the other meta than we are, and I think EX03 it does not give so much support because they're getting one new Agumon and that's it, and one new card. I'm not like much about it, but you can play the deck with Black Wargreymon. Black Wargreymon destroys Tamer, Dark Nightmon destroys Tamer. It is a good sign, yes, so it is tier 1. Tamer destruction will be pretty high, and are a lot of ways that you can win with the Digicross or other decks that need specifically Tamer to Digicross or getting effects on for material save, pop the Tamer, where your materials. Galatmon X. Red doesn't seem, or Galatmon doesn't seem to get any support here on the next set. You having like cards that are specifically for the new Transformers deck. Terraformers is an anime, pretty good anime, you should watch it. And all the red options are, one for Gamamon is Brocklaw, then we have one is Hero of the Skies, what is for the T0 deck, and Burning Star Crusher. Galatmon for me is better in my opinion because it's a red deck, a red card deck, and do something and pop cards on the board, and we have a more board heavy meta, so I will put Galatmon as a tier 1.5 deck. I will count now that you all know what is tier 0. Okay, this is the best deck in the format, and I'll tell you why. Okay, first things first, you have a deck that has material save and you can put under your tamers, and having you see X5 there, and you have seen X4 that are your boss monsters that you can digicross for lower cost to have more advantage about it, but not that even. You can play red cards like Tai, Crimson Blaze, Sunrise Buster to help you to clear the board of your opponent and getting more and more advantage about that. I tell you one tamer, the green one. It is called Jeremy. On play you might play one Ballistamon from your hand, from one from under one of your tamers, so if you have one material set you can play this as well. And then you can suspend the tamer if you have Digimon with X card hearts, so it costs 2 to play a Ballistamon. This Ballistamon can swing and you can have a rookie. Not that even your Pigmon says when attacking if your Digimon has X cross heart and that all Digimon have, that you draw a card 100% safe. Go back in time, Upamon needs a restriction to draw a card. Now you only need to have like the Cool Boy, X Antibody, Black and such all, you can draw with all cards. So, not even that, you have a Shoutmon that search your card. It has, why does Digimon have Shoutmon in its name? It gains Rush. So you can much more save it under your X4 and it has rush, so you can attack 100% of it. You having a black card, let me search it up that I know the names because I don't know the name. It is Baromon. Digivolve 0 from a level 2 extra card in threats. All turns while you have another Digimon or Tamer with extra cards in Twilight. In the threat, the Digimon get plus 3000, so it has 5000 as a rookie. And you draw a card. And you have all the save potential Digimon have an inherited effect. What is called opponent's turn, why this Digimon has Shoutmon or Mervamon in this name, is against Reboot. So you have a Reboot, Rush, Security +1 from the tie. That is pretty insane for low-key rookies. Just low-key rookies. You have a Yellow Tamer that you can play out your Yellow Digimon. What says, I want to pronounce the name right, what is called Dorulomon, because I didn't watch the series, I'm sorry. On play, you have another Digimon with X squad cards in play. One of your opponents gets minus 3000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you can DP reduce something as well and can swing over your Digimon with like amount of rush and stuff like that and power. And why this Digimon has Shoutmon in his name, all of your Digimon opponent's security gets minus 2000, so you get punished if you hit into something big. What is the Sakuyamon effect? It's a level 6 Digimon, but this Digimon you can play for 4. As a level 4, you can play for a Tamer for 3 cost, and it costs only 4 if you want to hard play it, if you don't have a Tamer. And if you then have a Tamer and swing a security, you don't get punched because your Digimon get destroyed. You're having material save and can save up the potential for your boss monsters. One of your boss monster is X4. It is a level 4 card, it costs 3. Digicross 2 for Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Dorulomon or the Starmons, you need for that. When you will play this card, you might play specific cards from your hand battle area under it. So you can play this from your Tamers as well. So hand, board and Tamer are your plays. We go sometimes, and then come the Gravius, we are one step ahead from Yu-Gi-Oh! Each play card reduce the play cost material save 2. When this Digimon will be deleted, you might play 2 cards with Digimon requirements for the evolution cards under one of your Tamers. On play, draw 2 cards. Pot of Greed. End of attack. By placing all the evolution cards from under this Digimon under one of your Tamer, unsuspend this Digimon, one of your Tamers, and delete this Digimon. So, and you don't care. You draw your 2 cards, and then you can draw into your next combo. Since it has Rush with the Shoutmon, getting it back and other stuff, it's pretty good. Then we're going to X5, the level 5. X5, 5 for 5, okay? We got the Digicross with Shoutmon, Ballistamon, the Rulumons, Starmons, and Sparrowmon. So you have the Rulumon coming now. Jojo memes. Coming now into the as well. When you will play this card, you might play specific cards from your hand battle under blah, blah, blah. Each play card reduce the play cost. Security +1, blocker, material save 3, so you can play 3 cards. If it has rush and +1 with the tie, you have 4 sources, then you make 3 damage with 1 card, and the draw before with 2 cards, and you play 4 copies of that and had 10,000, and you reduce a Digimon and stuff like that, and it's getting more and more wild. This deck has a lot of power, you heard, in doing nothing out spamming Digimons and swinging spamming out Tamers and swinging at security, saving and playing more out. This deck is tier 0. It was countering Venusmon, you have his counter, you have Loop, and you have, where is it, Alphamon, but 2 of them got nerfed, so yeah. Okay, we're coming now to the next 70 minutes in, and we have a lot of decks left. Good that I don't need to cut. I go with the old decks before I go to the new decks. So we have Kanko Vagamon X doing a lot of stuff. At Japan it won sometimes, and I think this is better than green. Suspending Digimon on board like Gaiomon and Dark Magmon. Gaiomon is a control deck and Death Magmon is an aggressive deck. So if they have something on bottom can swing over it, what is pretty good. I will put Grandis as a tier 1 deck because you lose to Rush. So if you rush and don't get your evolution source, what does Grandis have a problem about other decks we're having right now in the meta, then you're lagging behind and other decks getting ahead of you. That's the reason why I put it at 1.5. Imperial are not lacking. This deck top a lot of times, and it's a high roll deck. If you high roll, if you have your combo, you can do something on the board. You're having a good security because you play blue and green cards. You have good tamers and getting good stuff together for support for this set. I don't see any valuable thing to mention. but old cards do the same as new cards. We have a plasma degradation launcher we're getting for a new option card, but like nothing more. And yeah, I forgot at the list Beardstamon, to be honest, because I don't see here. But we can edit Beardstamon at the end, and I can put the picture from here and put it at someone. I think she get it. And we coming now to Magnamon X. Magnamon S is not one of the losers, but one of the good cards. Armor is a pretty good deck. Depends on you having a good matchup versus all the decks, but lacking on if you don't draw or brick, you have a lot of options, a lot of scary security. You're having rush potential, but not quite good support coming for the next set for you. So for me, this is a 1.5 deck. It is better than Grandus. Maybe this is near to tier 1, but the tier 1 decks are too fast and too strong for this pick. Mastermon for me is a tier 1 deck because I will putting it as a control deck of the both, because you are doing much more on the board you're having right now till now, because you are not an OTK meter, you have a little bit of more control, rush or recovery meter, and people do spam out something on board. You as well having good security with Chaos Degrade and stuff, and Magnamon can heal, but you can control the game more and more times to lose the Monodinimon, pop something on the board, pop a Tamer, what is pretty good. And these three decks you see above tier 1, popping Tamers and popping Tamers, is like a huge plus on this meta. And since you play every deck Dev Xmon should be here at T02 because this card is broken. Metagarumon is better than Imperial because it is faster, you have more search, more control, and having good effects, blocker, swing at your opponent's turn if you have a combo for 5 and Omnimon for game. This deck topped 20 to 25 times there, more than Gaiamon, Imperial, and Ordinamon. But I think like control decks, you don't need Tamer. I will put Metal as a 31, so this deck is a good call as well. Mother. We didn't see Mother right now yet, but we have a meta that we kill Tamer what Mother don't need. And I think Reaper can do something, but you need to spice it up, like you saw on my video, what I uploaded. And I'm thinking Mother will seem playing as well because it's a cheap deck, people can buy it. I think it's a tier 1, you don't need to worry about everything, but I will do it above Gaiamon because you play the Metal Greymon in there as well. War Greymon X. War Greymon X I will put the same as Metal Garumon. These both decks are, War Greymon are topping with Gaiamon a lot of times there right now, so 4 or 5 tops I saw with some lists. Having a deck that can destroy something on board and getting memory back, like with Tigerumon, swinging, unsuspending, and getting a lot of draws in your deck so you have consistency, is pretty good, and better than Cool Boy is better than Impure. Cool Boy is such a strong card, and what makes Alphamon pretty better. I will sort this here. I will put Blue Flare over these two because they too can brick. But Pokemon X, get your tourist mode. I bought my 3 right now. I have 3 right now and I'm happy. I'm only lacking on Cool Boys because I sold them because there was $8. But yes. And we're going now with the new decks. Venusmon is a new card with Sakuya. I go with Sakuyamon Matemon, that you know. Sakuyamon is the whole Sakuyamon theme deck meme. Venusmon is like security control meme. Sakuyamon Mate Mode says, when did you might use one option card with plug-in in its name. It is like circled the plug-in, or that yellow has a cost of 5 or less from your hand without meeting its color requirements or paying its cost. Play the option card used with this effect on top of the security deck. You can use 5 cost less option card. Put your mind everything you need. I go with Holy Flame, -3 security on your opponent, and you do it on the stack so your opponent can swing at you, what is pretty good. Or you do it with memory plugin, evolve into something, or having your combo, what is good for the deck. It evolves on a level 6 for 2 cost, by the way. When taking this Digimon, might evolve into a Sakuyamon in your hand for cost from 1, ignoring its evolution requirements. So you can do more combo shenanigans. Yellow combo deck that you need to build up. I think this deck is pretty cool. and it can do something because you can cast card that your opponent can't swing at you, need to build up, and then you can pop something, minus reduction things, and could do something. I think this deck is like on a pretty consistent tier 1.5 deck, what is pretty cool for Sakuyamon theme. And then you getting Venusmon. You put Sakuyamon and Venusmon together in a blue deck and combine them and have 2-color control. What is definitely just if you got it one, but we have Lit's topping, and we're having it. I guess let me sort it real second because we got new decks here. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, the Walkermon don't want go ahead. Venusmon, so 2cc is pretty amazing because Venusmon is skill drain. If you played Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't skill drain, at least skill drain game. Good. When did you evolve? Off your opponent's Digimon gain security -1 until the end of your opponent's next turn. Opponent's turn. Your opponent Digimon with security tech can't attack this Digimon and activate when attacking and to when Digivolving effects. You put a counter on the opponent's Digimon, and the opponent Digimon can do nothing. You can clear with a clear spell, but then you play other Tamers, recycling and putting a Venusmon again. You can play Shakumon as an extender to Jet Sylphimon, or you hard playing stuff and play Mimikari control with new option spells you're getting. Because we have new option spells getting, we have an 8-core. It costs Lonque Adiscato. I don't know is it Spanish or something, but I would pronounce it right. And while you have Pulsmon, ignore that, or Digimon with Pulsmon, ignore that. In the illusion cards in the play, you might play this card without meeting these card requirements. This card is yellow and costs 8. Main effect, if you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon get -12 power for the turn. If you have 3 or 4 cards, place one of your opponent's Digimon face down on the top of the security stack. What is pretty good compared to Wyvern's Breath, because -12,000 is a lot, and the Digimon at the meta right now don't have more, since only Omnimon, what is Warcraymon support as well. I didn't mention that we're getting a Warcraymon Omnimon X antibody. What is support Digiball 3 from Omnimon when a Digimon with X antibody illusion cards would Digivolve into this card reduce the illusion cost by 2. When Digivolving, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level on the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. When Digivolve when attacking once per turn by placing one X antibody or level 6 card from your hand. This Digivolution cards at the bottom of its own deck reveal all of your opponent's security cards and trash one of them. Place the rest of your opponent's security stack face down, then your opponent shuffles their security stack. This card has a huge effect. This card is with X antibody and multiple cards with combo pieces you get in with Pokemon, pretty OP. That's the reason why it's top, because people didn't saw this, but it is a better way to win versus the 2cc and other decks, because you're getting Metagumon don't get support, Pokemon get support. Mastermon don't get pretty support because we have a 0 option spell, what is called Immortal Ruler, and nothing more. Like we have like Buzzing Fist, and we have the Cannon, what is not pretty much support for the deck, but yeah. Okay, Gankomon. Gankomon is a card you see play as well in Jesmon. Gankomon X antibody. Digivolve one from Gankomon blocker, or Digivolving. You might play one Digimon card with Systemon in this name from your hand, trash without paying its play cost. Then if Gankomon in this Digimon Digivolve cards, you have a Digimon with Systemon in this name, play until the end of your opponent's turn, all of your Digimon gets plus 1000, and your opponent effects can return them to hand or decks or reduce their TP. It's like a Durugreymon, what is pretty cool, and you boost to go with a finish line, to have blocker, to have something about the other matchups is cool, and you're having a black deck. I think Gankomon at itself as a card is, for me, is you play a control Gankomon deck. Maybe I would say a lower tier 1.5 deck, because other decks are just stronger than him. But if you combine it with a new Jesmon, then it's T1. Then you're having a T1 deck. Why is Jesmon T1? You're having Nerf Savior Hackmon, but Jesmon doesn't care because you're having a new starter deck beginning. Starter deck means you have support coming to be T1, like Beardstamon, like Beelzemon. So Beelzemon will be above the 1 at a time as well. But you're getting Jesmon GX. I make this quick. You can spam a lot of sister mons. So you're getting new sister mons in the starter deck, new cards, and spamming out and swinging multiple time with the Digimon is pretty cool. And yeah, this was the deck does. Spamming out sister mons, getting advantage, swing a lot of times, and kill your opponent. And we having last Minerva Loop. Anubismon Minerva Loop. I will put it as tier 1 as well. We need to sort it right now. To put cards under that we have not a lot of tier 1 decks. De-promote this. De-promote Gankomon as well. What is it better? I will put it right now as it is right now here. We have Minerva Loop. I can put it right now where it is, but it tops a little bit. Anubismon Cerberus mode combo with Lilithmon on here. What she can do? She has a nice R dot for just mention it. We has retaliation, what is pretty good with some threats on the board. And opponent's turn, when an opponent plays a Digimon, you might play 1 level 4 lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. On play, effects on Digimon plays, but this effect don't activate. On deletion, if your opponent has 2 or 3 Digimon in play, you might place 1 purple level 5 or lower Digimon card or 1 Minerva one from your trash without paying its memory cost. Oh, I have a Cerberus mode. I play Anubismon. It's my turn now, and I can punish you. This is what the deck does, but it needs a lot of time to build up. And that's the time why Jasmine and Wargreymon can swing over it and are pretty strong, like 2cc, like okay, if you get hit by a degrade, you get hit by a degrade, this is the Massimon shines. But heading into an ultimate flare, what is pretty hard for a deck, you can play in School Nightmon, it is better. And I think School Nightmon and Jasmine are one of the decks that can compare about this, like Minerva Loop, but I think these two are rushy decks, and if you have rush playing together, one of them rush wins. This is a more consistent rush deck, but I would definitely keep my eyes on having the Dark X-Mon. Now I come to my love. I can move here because I think she's pretty good because we're getting new cards to play here. We get an option spell that calls Plasma Decorated Launcher. This is a 7-cost spell, blue. You need blue, but you can play Dual Tamers or Green Dual Tamer. So I mentioned just cards. When you would use this card, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, reduce the cost by 2. Return one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon to its own hand. So you're having a 5-cost option card to bounce something. What is better than Kokaitis, to be honest? You have the yellow card that you can minus 12,000 DP and place one of your opponent's Digimon face down on the top of the security stack. And you get the Grandele Sol. What is the thing? You play the Easy Tamer in the deck, and Grandele Sol is when you will use this card if you have 2 or more suspended green Digimon in play, reduce cost by 2, but it doesn't matter. You spend one of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of its own deck. Bottom of its own deck is Millenniummon. Millenniummon you can play in the meta as well in your new decks. Just to mention, it's pretty cool as a one-off, but Grandele Sol is a pretty OP card. To put something back under the deck means go. Put something to hand in security. There is something you can do with that. You can, okay, you have something in security, you have 1 more life, or something hand, okay, I can do it later. But under the deck is under the deck and you never will see it again. This is pretty broken for the deck, in my opinion. You have Death the Cannon, you have an 8-cost spells, you're getting new for Beelzemon, but you don't need that because it's it is Beelzemon support. And yeah, I think that Beelzemon only getting support when they got specific cards that call for Beelzemon, or you're getting new option cards, and we have new option cards. And I think it is like Ordinemon and like 2cc. You're having huge free control decks, you have 1 loop, you have 3 decks that depends on huge decks, and you have 2 rush decks. This is our meta right now. But thank you very much guys for watching. I didn't talk about Galmon, I didn't talk about Just Demon, Critical Arms and something like that. I didn't talk about the Shoutmon, the other tamers, but you should navigate your way as well to the meta. Keep your eyes on DevXmon. Look at my investment video I put out. Yeah, thank you very much guys for watching. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comment section below if I should do more, investigate more of cards like this, to having a better like logic thinking about the meta if you liked it more than the others. And as always, stay healthy. Have a nice week. You're Senki. I'm out. And let's go open some BT10 packs.